of room left for Canada and Mexico to make a deal before midnight? And should we expect those Chinese tariffs, the extra 10%, to take effect tomorrow?
No room left for Mexico or for Canada. No, the tariffs, they're all set. They go into effect tomorrow.
Welcome to Inside the Diligence, March 4th, 2025. Yes, my friends, that was the President of the United States, Donald Trump. He says the tariffs is going to be on Mexico, Canada, and China. And the world leaders, they are reacting to this. As a matter of fact, not just the world leaders reacting to this, even the market is reacting to this. Y'all remember like a month ago that he said he was going to do this that he's doing right now. He did it and he pulled it back when the market reacted negatively to the tariff threat that President Donald Trump placed on Mexico, Canada, and China. So that a month ago he had to pull it back and everything went back to normal. But now he's rolling it back out again. And the world leaders are reacting to it. Let's take a listen, then we chat on the other side.
Ontario, Canada. Mr. Premier, we appreciate you making some time for us today. We know that President Trump delayed these tariffs a month ago, and now we're hearing today that this will happen for Canada. Do you have any indication that he might delay them again? Anything that's giving you any hope at this point?
Well, first of all, thanks so much for having me on, Aaron. For the sake of the American people and the Canadian people, he needs to pull back. I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen here. President Trump ran on a mandate to create more jobs, keep inflation and low and lower cost. It's going to work totally opposite. Plants will close down within a week. Assembly plants in Michigan, which is a red state. Manufacturing will stop. And the people of the U.S., which I absolutely love, the American people, they're going to be paying more. The market is going to go downhill faster than the American bobsled team. It's going to be an absolute disaster for both countries. We're your largest trading partner. I don't want to respond, but we will respond like they've never seen before. You need our uranium. You need our potash. You need our high-grade nickel. I will stockpile our high-grade nickel at 50% of your military and manufacturing needs. Your aluminum, the steel, the lumber. It will be an absolute disaster. And this is all due to one person, that's President Trump. I have talked to endless governors, Republican governors and Democrats, senators and Congress people. I love the U.S. I lived there for 20 years. They're all saying this is the craziest thing that someone could ever do.
Well, sir,
it's going to create massive problems.
Well, let me ask you said a couple of things here I want to ask you about. First of all, you said that you will respond. Help me understand what you expect the Canadian Prime Minister might do and what you yourself might do as the province there in Canada.
Well, we'll respond strongly, and we don't want to. On the critical minerals, I will stop shipments going into the U.S. for nickel. It will shut down manufacturing because 50% of the nickel you use is coming out of Ontario. I've ordered our bureaucrats to cut off tens of billions of dollars of contracts that we have with the U.S. We are the largest purchaser of alcohol in the world. We buy over 3,600 products from 35 states. I talked to the governor of Kentucky and Mitch McConnell. Don't touch our bourbon. I'm going after absolutely everything. And I don't want to. We keep the lights on to 1.5 million homes in manufacturing in New York, in Michigan, and in Minnesota. If he wants to destroy our economy and our families, I will shut down the electricity going down to the U.S. And I'm telling you, we will do it. It's unfortunate. I would rather ship you more electricity, ship you more critical minerals. I want to ship you more energy, more potash to keep your farmers going, and uranium that you use for your nuclear power. It comes through from Saskatchewan over to Ontario, and it's going to be a massive, massive problem. I'm telling you, we love the Americans. Canadians love Americans. I love the U.S. Everyone does, and not one American friend. When I lived there for 20 years, I've talked to all of them. Hardcore Republicans are this mistake President Trump has done, and we're dead against it.
And
I've yet to find one that supports him.
And so, if I'm hearing you correctly, you are ready, sir, to go to war, to go to a trade war with the United States, with the Trump administration.
It's the last thing we want to do. It's one person that's coming to attack us economically. Your closest friend, your treasured ally that will stand shoulder to shoulder with you in every situation you faced. And he's attacking the person, his number one customer. There's no country in the world that buys more products off the U.S. than we do. We're the number one trading customer to 28 states. And a lot of them are red states. They're going to feel the pain like they've never felt before. We're going to feel the pain. But I'll tell you, Canadians are resilient. We're strong. We're proud. And we're going to fight back like they've never seen before. And I'm sorry to the American people that your president has decided to do this. I apologize, but he's giving us no choice. There's nothing wrong with our trading. He keeps saying, oh, they're taking money. No, that's not accurate. Matter of fact, if you take out our oil, that you take 4.3 million barrels a day, and we keep things going, outside of that, take the energy to the side, you have a $55 billion surplus. Which is good. That's fine. America has a $55 million process, and $55 billion more in trade. And God bless them. We want to expand the trade. We want to create an AmCan fortress, the two greatest countries in the world. We have what you need. We want to ship more what you need. And I'll be very frank, you're gonna see nothing like this ever in the history of the U.S.
Cooperation, coordination, yes. Subordination, no. We are a free, independent, and sovereign country. And Mexico is respected anywhere in the world because we ask to be treated as equals. That is why I've always said cooperation, coordination, yes. Subordination, no. Never. Mexico is a free, independent, and sovereign country. We are a great country. We are a cultural example in the world. The world respects Mexico. The United States would not be what it is without the Mexican men and women who work on the other side.
Freeland. She served as Canada's finance minister and deputy prime minister under Justin Trudeau. She's now a candidate for prime minister herself. It is great to see you. You could be, which is pretty incredible to say out loud, you could be the prime minister this time next week. Tariffs, of course, are going to be a major issue. You've suggested Canada should fight back in a very targeted way. You've been very forward about that. You've pushed to target Wisconsin dairy farmers, Michigan manufacturers, Florida oranges, to name a few, as a way of really specifically hitting states that are politically key to Donald Trump. You know it gets to his heart there. How far, for people who are watching, are you ready to go on tariffs? They're gonna be put into place in a couple of hours. How far are you ready to go? And what other targets would you want to aim for?
Well, it is great to be with you, Jen. And I am running to be the next leader of the Liberal Party and the next Prime Minister of Canada, because right now we Canadians have to stand up and fight for our country. If the tariffs are imposed, as Prime Minister, I will fight back with dollar for dollar retaliatory tariffs. And our retaliation is going to be surgically targeted to create the maximum pressure on the White House to stop what the Wall Street Journal has described quite rightly as the dumbest trade war in history. An example of a measure that I will put in place as Prime Minister is 100% tariffs on Teslas. I think that should get some attention in the White House. And, Jen, I think people, Americans, I don't think you think about Canada all that much. But I think when you do think about Canada, you might think, oh, they're smaller than us. Is this really something I should be worried about? Well, the stock market is worried. Shares have gone down. And this has been a terrible year for U.S. stocks already because of these tariff threats. And the reality is, you guys need us. We are your largest market by far. The U.S. sells more to Canada than to China, Japan, the UK, and France combined. So we do have leverage. And as Prime Minister, I will use it. And not because I want to. I mean, the irony about this, the stupidity about this is right now we have a balanced and mutually beneficial relationship. There is a win-win here. There is an exit ramp. But Americans need to know that if you hit Canada, we will hit back, and we will be sure that our retaliation hurts.
I think Americans are very concerned right now about these tariffs that are about to go into place and could impact their bottom line and their cost of goods. Let me ask you, as you just mentioned Elon Musk, I think everybody in this country is learning a lot about his influence, which is unwieldy and over the top, just to say a few words. You mentioned 100% tariffs on Teslas to hit Elon Musk. He owns a number of other companies. Obviously, there's Starlink. Would you ever consider canceling Canada's contracts with Starlink, for example?
Absolutely. And Canadian premiers have already said that they would do that. I think you made a really important point a minute ago, Jen, which is right now, this is maybe abstract for Americans. But if these tariffs are put in place, it is going to hurt Americans. Anyone who has a 401k is going to be hit because the stock market is already hurting. Anyone who needs to fill their car up with gas is going to be hit. You are going to be putting tariffs, a tax on the oil and gas and electricity that we sell you. Totally absurd. Your grocery prices are going to go up because you know what you need to grow food in the United States? You need fertilizer. And 80% of it comes from Canada, and you're going to put a 25% tax on it? I mean, the Wall Street Journal is right. This is dumb. This is utterly self-mutilating, and our retaliation is going to make it worse because we can't stand for these attacks on our economy. So really what I'm saying to you and to your viewers, Jen, is call the White House now. Say to the president, say to your congressmen, say to your senators, say to your governors, this is self-mutilation. This just doesn't make sense. There is no need to do this. But if you follow this path, it's going to hurt America.
Oh boy, this is getting serious. This is getting serious. I know the irony of this. The rich are not going to be affected. The rich are not going to be affected at all. When the tariffs war is being thrown between countries, it's the middle class that get affected. If the price of egg is up to $20, $50, the politician will be able to afford it. Yes, the rich will be able to afford it, but the middle class, they will not. So that's why this is getting serious, and it is high, just like she said, that this is going to hurt the people. And it is time for the people to get out and speak to their representative, their lawmakers, so they can come together. But I don't know how this coming together going to work when President Donald Trump said there is nothing these countries can do for the tariffs not to go in effect. What do you guys think? Let's continue the conversation down there in the comment section. Do y'all think this tariffs is going to last this week? Y'all remember President Donald Trump put this on last month, a month ago thereabout. He rolled it back when the market reacted negatively. So what? Not just the people reacting, even the market say, hold up, this ain't what we want. I will catch up with you guys later. Thank you so much. Bye for now.